Uh-uh.
What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? We are at session 23. Oh, we moving into our mid-20s. We
Mm.
getting there. We getting there. So I am going to turn stuff over to Shameen, and she's gonna go
Why
talk.
Teresa act like she can't keep on hosting? You know the topic.
Well,
Anyway, go, Shmin. Go ahead.
I don't want to
You're
host
the
no
host,
more. At
like
least not
Barbara
today.
Walters in The View when it first came out. Like, why don't you recognize this, Barbara?
Well, because I thought it's a team effort,
It is a team
and
effort. The View ain't The View without everybody sitting there, but everybody know that Whoopi the boss right about now.
She didn't call you Barbara Walters and Whoopi
And
Goldberg
Whoopi
all in
Goldberg.
one
I mean,
sentence.
dang.
Boss. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, well, fine, fine. So today's topic is now. Oh, well, no, well, I'm gonna say what my interpretation. So, Shamina Dia came up with this topic. What? Let me make sure I'm saying it right. What is your response to emergencies,
Yeah.
or like when it comes to weather or in personal life, or what's your response to the like,
Yeah. Okay, so this is what prompted the topic the being chosen. So driving back from Kentucky, and Shameen called, so we were talking on the phone. And I was telling her how recently in Tennessee these storms have been crazy, like
Mhm.
super duper crazy. And I mean, I haven't heard any tornado sirens, but we have had a couple of tornado warnings and watches and warnings. I don't think many people know the difference between a watch and a warning, but we're gonna pause that just for a second. Scoot that to the side. I do not react like Jerice or maybe our mother. And I think she is more like me during storms. Like storms come, mommy old school, so she like, girl, let me get up off this phone. I'm not trying. But nowadays, Jerice is like, let me charge my phone. I need to get off the phone. And then both of them keep on the news channel until the
Mhm.
warning is over. And they will call and text and be like, Dia, it's over your house. You need to put your stuff in the bathroom, get your blanket, your shoes, your candles, and get in there now.
Y'all
There's
ready?
take
Y'all ready for the storm?
But I
why
mean,
would you
that's what
like
you're
that?
supposed to do, right?
Technically speaking, yes. Technically.
Okay, on Channel 5, they say what the difference between a watch and a warning is. A watch is like, hey, we might have something, like keep your eyes and ears open because there might be something, we're having
Be
some,
weather aware.
why be aware. And then a warning is like, oh shit, we didn't see something.
It's
Y'all need
coming.
to go on and take.
It's a coming.
Be
It's a
jealous.
coming.
Be like, it's some
So
rotation near your
I
house. A
do.
rotation. I'll be like,
we
I'm
seen
looking
that.
at
Because
you know,
like, hey, look, I don't want to be the one. Look, let me say this. I don't want to be like, oh, I should have called, or you
what?
see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
gonna call alert, alert, alert. Come on now. Now, okay, so is in this topic, you talk about weather and in personal. So that was the weather I thought, on that side. So the personal, real quick, was with a watch. That's the red flag
Oh,
moment.
yeah.
That's the okay. I mental note. I see that. The warning is, am I
It's
still gonna
happening
continue
right
to put up with
now.
this shit? Like, like this happened. It happened. Watch is, they have potential to do some shit.
Oh, I love that
Warning
you're giving such
is,
a metaphor because this was really not what I was going for. So,
oh,
okay. let's get more specific. For example, a friend of mine posted today and she was like, I don't usually talk about my love life, but um being love bombed is not what I'm looking for, right?
What is
Um
love bomb?
so love bomb is when like you date somebody and they just pouring it all. They just giving everything.
It's
You
just too
Oh,
much
okay, yeah. Overly.
I'm
for
gonna
her.
hide this, I'm gonna shower you with that. But
Mhm.
a bomb like explodes and then it dissipates. So like that's definitely not sustainable. So the warning what would be the watch in that situation where you meet somebody and would a watch be considered like somebody else is telling you, girl, don't deal with him because blah 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 blah. Like that's a watch. But would a warning be like you in the middle of it, like he is sitting here drowning you with gifts and love bombing you, and then you really like this is gonna leave me devastated because I know it's not sustainable.
I think we were kind of on the same page.
Let's dig a little
Because
deeper.
oh, okay. So when I say watch, not just like cheating or in this case love bomb or whatever.
Ooh.
The watch is, and I don't even want to say red flag. It's just like warning, like watch. Keep your eyes and your ears open because this
Yeah,
may
because they
not
got
be
tendencies. They doing little
right,
things.
Scrub aware.
hmm
right,
Your
right.
third
And
eye is
then
blinking. Your
the
third eye is blinking.
warning
You're like,
is, yeah, not just the third eye blinking. It's like, girl, we see it.
It's a brewing.
that's
Right,
the,
right.
well, no, that's the watch. The warning is
I don't know.
I would think the warning would be okay. The watch is the hairs that's standing up on the back of your neck a little bit, it's a
How about
twinge, it's something, but you can't
Okay,
quite
I'm
put the
gonna give
finger
you.
on it. That's the watch. The warning is, okay, now they did some shit. So now you like,
let me use
no,
another
this is
example.
not right. That's a warning. It's a
Okay, I'm gonna use
warning.
another example. So my friend was was dating this guy. But before she dated the guy, she knew he was a little off. Like there were stories about him hitting people, stories about him running somebody over with their car. Somebody's trying to run him over with a car. I don't know, something like that. But anyway, so that's the watch. The watch is I know that this person may have some like bad tendencies, some, bad coping mechanisms, some very unhealthy behavior.
The
The
hell?
warning is when that muff slap you and you in the middle of the storm, right? And then you like warning, warning, warning. What can you do? Because sometimes people who are in abusive relationships, this is for real, like 110%. People who are in an abusive relationship, like many people don't get slapped just once.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna use myself I'll use myself.
Okay, but I mean, once you in it though, like you're
That's like
in
what
it.
you
So
in
that's not a
it, you
I
in
warning.
it.
think
That's you're
it's the
in it at
first
that point.
time.
But what
The
it's
first,
like what led up to that? Whatever led up to that
The
is a
watch.
warning.
the watch
No,
led
no,
up to it. The
no.
warning is the first slap. It's like, okay, hey.
No, the warning is because you're being warned. You about to get slapped. This is the warning right here. This is the warning. Because once that hammer comes down, this is the slap. This is the slap. This right here is the warning.
I don't like that because
This right
the
here is
a
the warning.
warning
Because you getting ready to get slapped
Okay.
a
Personal.
warning gives you enough time
to get
to
out the way.
react. So if you in the midst of it, when somebody's like,
That's a warning.
"What do? Get
Because
out the
you
way!"
getting
Like,
move out the way. You got an opportunity to move out the way. That's
Okay,
the
question.
warning.
Okay, I'm gonna use okay, I will use it. Y'all know I don't usually get too personal, but I'm gonna use a personal story. Personal. All right, I was dating a guy. I ain't gonna tell my ages because then you're gonna put it together. Y'all gonna already know who I'm talking about because y'all were there for this story. Okay, so I was dating this guy, actually living with him at this point.
Tell him to turn the
And
game off.
I had never
Sorry, y'all.
seen the guy be physical. The guy had never been physical with me, and we had been together for a significant amount of time. Well, we moved in together, and there was a watch, right? The watches were just like more of an attitude, more wanting things more in a particular manner. Like that was the watch, like the storm was brewing. The
Mhm.
warning was, now this is talking about like in my relationship. The warning was, hey, one night we got into an argument. Man gonna tell me I need to be a stripper because we was struggling with some money. And I was like, what? And so we were living in like a 2-bedroom apartment. So when he said that, I felt extremely disrespected because I'm a queen, baby. You don't tell no queen to go show her ass on no stage. So I was very upset and I went into the other room. Now, I closed the door. The guy was pissed. Like opened his door, was banging on it. This in the middle of the night. Banging on it. So this is the warning, right? Banging on the door, open this door. So it's like the tornado was outside of my space. I was taking cover. And then finally he ended up kicking the door in, looking at me in the eye and saying, "Look what you made me do." That was the storm. That's the warning, right? So what did I do to protect myself? Call my mama. Told her she come get me the next day, and then I moved away. So was the warning. Now I could have been in the storm, to be honest. Now, metaphorically speaking, I could have been in numerous storms that would have kept popping up over and over again. But because of the watch, I watched it happen. I knew something was a brewing. And then when the warning happened and the storm actually came, I knew I needed to protect myself by either getting out of the area. So like for people who are in mobile homes during a tornado, you gonna get up out of there. Or if you are on the highway, you gonna get up out of there and find a ditch and protect yourself during that storm so that you can live. So what you talking about?
Well,
Okay, so this is a good example.
Okay.
yeah, but
Okay.
I think what kind of threw me was Shami was like,
I was exaggerating. That was an exaggeration.
This is a warning.
Right. That was
like,
that was an exaggeration. But Dia, that was a really good example.
yeah,
That was a very good example of define because you listened to yourself and was like, okay, this can continue to escalate into something very dangerous. So I'm going to have to get away from him. I'm just saying that there are stages. So you watched, the watch really was, he's got a history of these things and it was kind of brewing. The warning was, okay, the look what you made me do. Okay, no, it wasn't a hand raise, but it could have been a hand raise at that point. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't actually do it. I'm saying sometimes the warning, it gets to a point where there is a hand raise or something like that because you're not listening or looking at your warning signs earlier than that. And it can your warning can escalate to almost to that point. But what I was just trying to say is if you get into really the hand raise and he smacking you, you really in the situation you're in the storm at that point, so it's too late. So your warning sign is the look what you made me do, or that's a warning. A watch is, well, he had a history of that, so that's really your watch. You got to watch this person. Now people grow, mature, change, whatever. And they grow through those things. But your warning signs are when they're doing shit that escalates, or you can see that anger in them already.
The
like
escalation of
right.
stuff.
And you see an escalation of things with you specifically, and it's like, okay. Now that's the warning. you see those
I
escalations
think
with
that
you, and
it
it's
was
like, okay,
very
girl,
brave of you too, Dia, to react in the way
recognize
that
that.
you did.
Da-da.
Yeah. Some people are not as fortunate to be able to react as quickly, or maneuver around as quickly. So in these moments, I think that it's good to rely on your intuition. And my intuition is to put my shoes on and grab my purse and watch
Mhm.
TV all night. Because I
You
need to
just
be
be
prepared.
prepared.
Mhm.
Prepared.
You ain't lying, because if we get into this, you might fuck around and die around me. So we're not even gonna get to that level. We need to pay attention to the warning, because you're right. Yes, mom, go ahead and come and get me, because this is not going to end well.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Has anything like that happened to you? And when did you heed some warning signs? Now, it could be work. It could be, some kind
Mm-hmm.
of storm. Because when storms come into your life, sometimes they come to just shake stuff up and re-land it where you need to be, re-land you where you need to be, or
Mhm.
ground you where you need to be grounded, or protect you from something else. Have there been any storms that come into your lives that were like, I saw it coming, I wasn't really listening, or it blindsided me because I didn't pay attention to the warning signs? Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Relationship wise, yes. But I was already it was a done deal. It caught me by surprise. So if you watch a couple of sessions previously, I talk about being loyal to your friends. And I tell this story about this guy that I was dating, and I broke up with him because he did not do what I asked him to do for my birthday, right? So continuing the story with that person, because that's who it was with. So I broke up with him, and he stalked me for like 2 weeks, which completely blindsided me.
Mm.
Shameen, I was living with Shameen, so Shameen remembers this story, or should remember this
Oh,
story.
I know what you're talking about.
So we break up. I noticed that he's like he had sat outside and waited for me to come out to go to class one day in my car. And I was like, But it was just like, okay, watch. That was my watch. So in the midst of my watch, like he was calling. I know you at home or whatever the case may be. So I disappeared on him for like a day or two. I went to my friend's house. Didn't I answer the phone? Didn't I reply to anything? I just disappeared. So it starts to escalate when I get a message that says, I know you're not at home. I know you're not at your parents' house. Where are you?
Ooh.
So when I got that message, I was like, oh shit, this motherfucker's crazy. Like, oh God. So at the end of this, one day, me and Shameen at home, and because we were in this apartment. Me and Shameen lived together in this apartment. We at home. You hear bam, 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 bam. I know you in there, Jerice. Open up the door.
I was leaving this shit for a second. What is she talking about?
I was like, what the fuck? It's just Shameen, like, don't open the door. I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? So, like, he banged on the door. So I opened it, but I had my foot in front of the door, so he couldn't like open it all the way. Like if he pushed it, it would just hit my foot. So I cracked the door. I was like, you need to leave. He said, I'm not gonna leave. I need you to come out here and talk to me. Like he looked crazy. Like did not look like the person that I had dated. That he looked very dark and crazy in this moment. So he starts to push the door. So I'm like, I'm pushing the door back, trying to close it. Shameen runs up and we pushing this door. She said, I'm gonna get the gun, Jerice. I'm gonna get the gun. I was like, no, we not shooting nobody. I'm gonna call the police. So needless to say, it gets to the point where we get the door closed, right? This so crazy. So he ends up leaving that day. We got the door closed and I didn't see him no more for like maybe a week or so. But then he called and was like, look, I just want to talk to you. I didn't mean to scare you. I was like, you are crazy. Don't call me no more. Don't text me no more. You are crazy. You are scaring me. I don't want to deal with this. But he was like, I just want to talk to you. So a week goes by. I go outside. I talk to him. And, we actually ended things on a pretty decent note at that point. But the watch was him sitting out on my car waiting on me talking. He was for real stalking me. And then the warning was the phone call talking about you not at your parents' house. It takes somebody in my mind, it takes somebody very bold to drive past somebody's parents' house.
Because what was he gonna do if he was over there knock on the door?
I don't know.
Well, clearly he claimed that he came to our door trying to.
Yeah.
I forgot about that shit.
Now,
I forgot about that.
But when it was going on, I was like, man, we don't have to kill this nigga. Like, something's got to give.
And you heard what I was getting ready to do.
Right. She was like, look, let me go get this gun. Now, mind you, okay, so needless to say, we ended it on a good note or whatever. But talk about watching warning signs, because during this time, our neighbor was dating some dude and he had busted the windows out her car, maybe like in the midst of all of this. Yes, it was. You remember that shit? Eliana was over there. She was little. Eliana was over there, and the dude. But in my mind, I was like, why is she dating this bitch ass nigga? Like, how do you stay with somebody that you see the bitch warnings up to that point? But this dude was bold enough to bust her windows out. And then the whole thing started going on with the other dude. It was just way too much.
It was crazy.
Yeah, I think that it's a very good point to say. You have to listen to your intuition. When the warning signs are like alert, you need to listen, because it does escalate. It really does.
What about you, Shameen?
So, and y'all know me, I have not had like a whole lot of relationships purposefully. But I will say this. There are, and I tell people this, when I do go out on dates or when I do date men, just shit always comes to the light for me. Always. If I had some, if you got something going on, I just know it. And it will always come to the light for me. Somebody will see some shit and tell me. And I talked about this a couple of episodes ago when Jerice busted somebody out. But it always comes to the light for me. So I will have it will be a feeling. It will be a sense of, it'll just be something, and I'll be like, something ain't right. Somebody will say something to me, and I'll be like, that don't sound right. And I
more specific. I'm gonna get specific with you, but I ain't gonna say this person's name. I always thought that it's a person who was like in the military or something. Didn't you think somebody who was in the military?
I did.
It wasn't Snow, but it was, So that person right there had tons of watches for me.
Mm-hmm.
He did.
Can you elaborate?
Yep, I can. So that particular person, he ghosted me though. And so I didn't talk to him. That was very early on when we first started talking. And after, I was like, dang, I wonder why he has ghosted me. I couldn't figure out why. But then he contacted me and he wanted to take me to dinner. So he took me to dinner and he told me why he ghosted me.
What'd he say?
It was because he was still married.
Dun dun dun.
I don't think you ever told us that because
Huh?
I don't
I
think you
did
ever
tell you that.
No, not in that way.
told. We had to put 2 and 2 together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Because you didn't tell us that.
No, I'm sorry, not still married. I'm sorry, he wasn't still married. They were divorced, but they were still living in the same house.
That's what it was. Now I remember that.
Okay.
That's what it was. I'm sorry, not
But I still
married,
think it was A.
but divorced and living
Me
in the same
too.
house.
I still
But they
think it was
two
A.
got.
Mm-hmm.
You
And then I
think?
still think it was still more because then he'd be like, I'm in the Himalayas and I can't contact you for months.
It was some crazy.
Okay, really was,
Like, what?
but he really was deployed.
Hmm.
He was deployed, and that was that.
All right. Okay.
I mean, and that was that. But we weren't serious like that. He was deployed though.
It's
Gone,
funny that
deployed.
we are having this conversation because every time we talk about like history and people we've dated, I always be like, we should write a book.
We should.
Because
The craziness that is our lives is just.
it's one of those like I think it would be a very good page turner. Like, ooh.
So happy.
Ooh.
I'm like, you gotta be kidding. I still don't believe it. I
Some
still
man, listen.
being this old and seeing this much. I still
Right.
don't believe it.
Right.
But it happened. It happened. It happened.
Okay.
What?
It
Yeah.
happened.
I'm
Absolutely.
still going with A2.
I
Bless your heart.
completely
Bless
forgot
your
about
heart.
that story Jerice told. For real, I'm looking like, wait, what?
Yeah, but it happened.
But it did. It did.
Where am I drinking today? I'm on water. I
I
don't even
know,
think
right?
It did.
I still don't believe it. I do not believe it. And did he get back with his wife? Because where he been at? What happened to him?
I don't know.
Well, what happened? Did y'all just stop talking or what happened?
We stopped talking.
Was it after that conversation?
No.
No. He was deployed. He was deployed, and then he came back, and we
will
stopped
come
talking
back.
after that.
He was
It was
deployed.
very. I said, but we weren't. We were never serious.
Okay.
But we weren't. So when he was deployed, and then he came back, I saw him maybe twice, and then that was it.
I was about to say I knew it wasn't like a long time frame. It was very short.
I felt like it happened more than once. Like the deployment happened more than once.
No, he got deployed, and then he got stationed someplace else. So when he got stationed someplace else, he moved, and then we lost touch for a while. And then I think he moved back, but by then he moved back, but by then we had lost touch, and I hadn't talked to him.
Wow.
You want to know what I think is interesting about this conversation too? Is like, what is a warning or watch for other people may not be a watch or a warning for you.
Which is true.
That is true. Well, it depends on what people are looking for at the time. Like, if people are just dating casually or whatever, then it's just.
I've never known you to be a casual dater.
Not at all.
Excuse me. No, I'm not. So I stayed single a lot because I'm really sensitive, and like being a multiple dater is just I just don't.
Yeah, I was never.
This is too much for me. I am very particular, and I was real particular when I was younger. So being real particular when I was younger, I didn't like a whole lot of bullshit. I didn't like a whole lot of, I don't know. I was really particular. So if I didn't like you, or if you rubbed me the wrong way, or if I didn't think you were cool or if I didn't like your vibe, then I just really didn't want to be around you. I just didn't really have a real tolerance for like bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So if I didn't, then like I mean, we could be friends or whatever. But if you were really trying to like hit on me, or if you were just ignorant as fuck, or you just I didn't like your vibe, then I didn't. What's that? Roddy used to be like, "You so fucking mean," but what? It wasn't that I was mean. And I really didn't want my feelings hurt. Like I don't recover well. It
So
takes
it's
me
like
a
if you
minute.
saw clouds, you was getting your blanket, your shoes, your radio.
Yeah, I was pretty
You
much
was going to
done.
the bathroom.
Yeah, because I didn't really want you to hurt my feelings, and because if my feelings were hurt, or if I got really wrapped up into you, it took me a minute to snatch myself out of that, and so I didn't really feel like being trying to recover. So I just didn't get involved in the first place.
Mm.
Wow. I think my recovery time was always short because by the time it was at the end, I was already kind of done anyway.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing too is if a guy was really interested in me and I wasn't interested in him, I didn't like hurting people's feelings either, so I just would kind of stop talking to you.
How was that not
And
hurt?
that's mean. That's mean too.
Yeah.
But
Real
I just kind of
mean.
stopped talking to you. Like, wouldn't answer your phone calls type shit. Like, I just stopped talking to you. And that's not nice either. But I didn't know how to, like, just be like, hey, this isn't working. I don't like you anymore. Let's break up. I just stopped talking to you. And that's not nice either.
Mm.
And,
I
but
had
yeah,
short
that's how it
recovery.
was. So but instead of like just being friends with dudes or whatever, I there wasn't that line either. If they were interested in me, I'd just be like, can we just be cool? Like, I don't really like you like that. And I feel like I couldn't articulate that, so I'd just be like, no, I don't want to be around you. So we just wouldn't talk anymore.
My recovery time quick. You know why? Because everything happens for a reason.
We knew you was gonna say some cloud and rainbow ass
It's
shit.
true.
But I would just be
For a
devastated.
reason.
My heart
The
would just be
clouds
hurt.
opened up and said,
Right.
"No, that's not it, dear."
Yeah.
So move on. Fly, 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 fly.
Yeah, right. All right, bye.
It's been real.
But me, I just be like, and then my shit would be on some, I was cheated on with. So in the relationships that ended, it would be ended on some dog type shit. Like I was cheated on, and I found out about it, and it was some shit. So I was
Getting
hurt.
cheated on sucks.
It does. It does. And I
But
don't
you
like
know
it.
what? Halle Berry cheated on, and you can too.
Damn right. Damn right.
Halle Berry can get cheated
Jesus,
on.
they
I
can
mean,
talk
who
about you,
am I?
okay?
Right.
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 And my thought process, because I'm very, I believe in fairy tales, and I, believe in love, and, I wanted my mate to be like that too. And, especially in those times, when it wasn't, and I get that hair standing up on the back of my neck, and I knew some shit was going on, and then I'm like, man, fuck. It's just a matter of time before I find out what the fuck it is. And when I did, I'd just be like, man, this is some bullshit. And then my feelings would be hurt because I wanted to believe that it wasn't that. And so when it was just kind of like, man, look. And so my heart would be broken, and it'd be the tears and the fucked up bullshit. And I'd have to, make myself, come to the realization that my life isn't what I wanted it to be with that person. And pulling myself out of that, I'm like, I do not want to be in this fucked up position again.
Yeah.
So I just be like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just be by myself.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
Yeah.
And everybody be like, Shamir, you're just such a good person. I'm sure this will be, let's find you something. No. Don't find me nobody. I don't want to be with nobody. Just leave me the fuck alone. I don't want to be with anybody. I'm good.
Fair.
I think that's a good topic.
Yeah, we're gonna have to revisit this.
Yeah, because I think that I feel like that goes deeper. And I would like to do another time. You know, we could do that on the next session. But so in saying that, please go to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have Facebook and Instagram. I don't do anything on TikTok for BU at all. But if you want to like the page, go right on ahead. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if y'all want to talk about a different topic, please feel free to suggest that on the comment session in the YouTube channel. I said that so wrong, but go to YouTube, watch, like, subscribe, comment, or if you want to join us, let us know too. So I hope you all have a wonderful holiday, and y'all have a great week. Peace.